Edwin Lord Weeks' exceptional artistic skill and boundless curiosity about the world led him to become one of the most celebrated American Orientalist painters of his time. In 1874, Weeks traveled to Paris and enrolled himself in the atelier of famed realist Léon Bonnat. There, he focused equally on drawing and painting and practiced a realist style which aimed to represent each subject's unique features. Weeks resumed his travels with a renewed confidence, armed by the skills he had honed under Bonnat's thorough yet nurturing tutelage. He traveled to Morocco, Lebanon, Egypt, Syria, and Damascus, all in the 1870s. These travels resulted in a painting titled Un chamelier marocain à Tanger, which was the first of his works to be exhibited at the Paris Salon in 1878. Weeks was absolutely fascinated by the images coming out of India in the 19th century. Eager to experience its wonders for himself, he embarked on his first long voyage to India in 1882 after years of planning. He was so inspired that he revisited the country during subsequent expeditions in 1886 and then again in 1892. This last voyage was undertaken with the journalist Theodore Child on a commission from Harper's Magazine and is his most well-documented one. It produced a travelogue which detailed Weeks' impressions of the cities he visited. And he went on to spend 2 years in India this time around, leaving an incredible visual record of that period. His first voyage in 1882, however, was particularly important. Just before setting sail, he expressed his interest in capturing the rich landscapes and street scenes of the country. In a letter that he wrote to George Corliss, secretary of the Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, he says, "I intend to pass some months in studying northern India, its types, architecture particularly, and the life in its cities. I shall hope to have some large and important work after my Indian campaign." This painting from 1883 is the result of the very first of his trips in 1882 to India. Though its astounding realism would suggest that Weeks painted it en plein air, as he was trained to do under Bonnat, he was known to create his final works in his studio. For this work, he drew from an impressive inventory of studies and sketches that he had generated in the field. His works were composite images of these studies. Weeks reported in a letter sent from India in 1883, "All my days were occupied in painting and my evenings in developing photos." He doggedly pursued absolute fidelity in recreating the brilliant yellow glow of the tropical sun as captured in this work, painting models for his studies from life in the crackling heat which drove all of the English indoors. In this painting, Weeks presents a daytime scene of a ghat in Mathura, an ancient city of great importance to the Hindu tradition, known for its sculpture and temple architecture. The densely packed buildings dominate the canvas, in keeping with his keen interest in architecture. In fact, aside from his general interest in Indian architecture, he was particularly awed by the accomplished design and workmanship on display in the buildings of Mathura, as he documented his travelogue. Weeks made many large, meticulous architectural studies during his time in India. Using them as a reference, he painstakingly represented the intricate details on paneled outer walls and the elegant repeating arches characteristic of the local architecture. Weeks' art is a rare, celebratory depiction of India, its vistas, and inhabitants for its time. His work, charged with an uncompromising realist principle, shunned the kind of colonial gaze that would create an exoticized spectacle of the East. American art critic S.G.W. Benjamin summed up the skill and sensitivity of Weeks' art with this quote, "He is in such direct sympathy with the Oriental subjects he loves, that one would not imagine on looking at his pictures that they were painted by one who was born and brought up under the cold skies and amid the rigid social customs of New England. Edwin Lord Weeks was made a Chevalier de la Légion d'honneur in 1896 by the government of his adopted home, France, for his considerable contribution to the arts and the legacy he created, not just for India, but the entire world. Bid on this work by Edwin Lord Weeks and significant works of modern Indian art at our upcoming 25th anniversary evening sale on the 27th of September 2025 in New Delhi.